What's going on, guys? It's Colin here for NextGenTactics, and this is the second episode where I engage the help of Mr. rivaL Xfactor to help me improve my game. And what we're going to do this week is actually go back over some basics that we forgot to cover last week. I'm still diligently working on my three assignments, which are raising my reticle to head level when I'm just running around, burst firing effectively, and increasing my map awareness, making better use of my mini-map. So we will cover those off next week and get a progress check on how I'm doing, get some new assignments. But for now, I want to turn it over to rivaL Xfactor. I have a couple of things to talk about, and just to kind of get everyone on the same page here. So take it away, sir. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me yet again for week 2. We kind of rushed ahead and got some of the meat of becoming a better player, but I forgot personally about some of the things you need to do and need to check on before you start changing the way you play the game. The first one I want to talk about is your mouse sensitivity, making sure that your operating system, your game, and your gaming mouse software, if you have it, is set up properly, because if not, you're going to have this nasty little thing called mouse acceleration. It is gross, it's bad, and you want nothing to do with it. So what happens is the ideal situation is you want a one-to-one mouse movement. Okay, what mouse acceleration is if you flick your wrist really fast, the mouse is actually going to travel further than what you anticipate because it's accelerating that based on the speed in which you're doing it. So what you want is one-to-one movement. So every time you flick your wrist 2 inches, no matter if it's 2 inches at the speed of a snail or 2 inches at the speed of light, it covers the same ground in game. Right. A lot of people don't have that set up properly, and it will kill you. You don't even know it until you fix it. I'm going to provide a link, or Colin is going to provide a link in the video, and to explain how to go through that, there's a little program you can download as well to help you set this up and get rid of this negative mouse acceleration.
That's actually, yeah. I'll put a link in the description to do 2 different parts, actually, of a video explaining sensitivity, how to get rid of acceleration, and that sort of thing. And I got to give a bit of a testimonial on this, that I have been playing with your recommended sensitivity settings, which were much lower than where I started, and have also disabled the mouse acceleration, and have noticed a drastic improvement in my performance and my gunplay.
Yeah, a lot of my community followers give me great feedback on my videos, and I've had at least probably 300 to 400 people say, "Oh my God, I can't believe how much easier this is to play now." Yep. You don't know until you fix it. And the theory of this is that this game isn't Quake Live. You're not running around doing 360s and 720s headshotting people. You need to slow it down a little bit because you're worried about what's in your field of view and directly to your side. In this game, if somebody's got the jump on you from behind, 90% of the time you're dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? So to take that extra little hesitation to turn around isn't gonna kill you. But what it is gonna do is it's gonna help you drastically with the people in front of you that you need to worry about the most, and that's the basis of this.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, you can still turn around on people. On PC, you can turn around quickly. It's just a larger sweep of the hand, and I'll probably put in some footage that running at your recommended sensitivity settings, which was at a DPI of 1800, and my in-game sensitivity is turned way, way down. I still, not against great players, but against your average pub lobby players, I've still been able to pull the 180 off and get the kill when I'm getting shot from behind. So
I come out victorious 60 to 70% of the time when somebody gets the jump on me. But again, that's getting rid of that acceleration and memorizing those muscle memory shots where it's that same flick of the wrist every time gets you a perfect 180.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a video that I'm going to come out where it's called "I Don't Like It From Behind," a little play on words, where it's just me ripping kids new ones when they get the jump on me.
Yeah.
So, and when you do this now, you can start memorizing shots. Now your hand, just like any sport, whether you're basketball, football, baseball, it's called muscle memory. You can train yourself, train your body, train your mind to memorize these type of shots.
Yeah, now I know that we're very much talking PC exclusive right now, but do you have any insight as to what the competitive community uses for a sensitivity on the console version of this game? So I'd like to give a bit of insight there. It's something that I've struggled with a lot, especially on the PS3 with the input lag, but I found on Xbox I went with with a much higher sensitivity.
Yeah, and with the consoles, I am horrible at them. You hand me a remote, I will be the worst guy in the room. But what I have noticed, the people that I know of that play at a high level, they have to crank the sensitivity high because there's so many limitations in that game for movement. It's insane. So for consoles, it's kind of the opposite. You got to go high.
Yeah, and I've actually noticed that. I'm more comfortable with an Xbox controller than a PS3 controller. Actually, one of the patch notes that they released is that they're going to give an option to disable anti-aliasing, which is hopefully going to reduce input lag for PS3. So I'm definitely interested to check that out, and that patch is going to come out on the 27th. So if you're struggling on console, you have to get used to the higher sensitivity. It makes it more difficult with those precision shots, although that's why console version of the game does have a little bit of aim assist. Yeah. So anyway, you have to play around with that. Find a place where you're comfortable, but on the PC, the lower sensitivity seems to be the winner.
Absolutely.
So I think the other thing that we wanted to talk about was key bindings, and it's something you watched some of my footage and remarked that it looked like my key bindings were stock or messed up, and so I've made some fairly significant changes to those. I can actually put up a graphic to show people what I've landed on for key bindings, but the principle has been to move things over as much as possible to my mouse.
Yeah, and here's the philosophy. I want to go into salesman mode right now. Stock key bindings are bad, and here's why. Do you have a gaming mouse, a Logitech, a Razer, a Kona? Does it have a couple extra buttons on it? Well, here's the philosophy. Every time you had to take your hand off the movement buttons to do something else, you limit your movement. Mm-hmm. You are now put into a dynamic that is not a good situation for you. Okay? Yeah. If you're switching weapons and you're using 1 through 4 in gadgets, that's bad news bears. So what I profess to people and what a lot of the top end guys do is they have a keybind that's called toggle primary. It switches from your pistol to your main gun in the push of a button and back and forth. Put that in your mouse.
Yep.
Put the gadgets on your mouse. Okay?
Yep.
Put prone on your mouse if you can. Prone's not as bad with the movement keys, but it kind of messes with your hand. Okay, so a lot of people put prone on the mouse. So again, the philosophy is this. If you have to take your fingers off the WASD to do something that's basic and you do 100 times a game, that's bad. Another one's grenade. Get grenade onto the mouse. Yeah. So it's a philosophy. You guys can play with it. I'm not going to tell you what to put where. I'm just trying to sell you on this simple philosophy.
Yeah. And right now, I have my movement keys, Q, E, and R. That's all I'm using on the keyboard right now, I think. I even have crouch and prone on mouse buttons. I had a few extra programmable buttons, so I was able to get my toggle primary, secondary, my gadget, my equipment, so whether that's a med pack or an RPG.
Yep.
That's a flick up on my scroll wheel, flick back for my gadget. I click in the scroll wheel to do that toggle primary secondary, which is something I'd already been doing, so I didn't change that up. And then I have
go ahead, sorry.
I have 4 functions on thumb buttons that are crouch, prone, grenade, and knife.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's don't limit your movement at any point in time, because a lot of people say, when they come against me, damn, you're elusive. Well, that's because I never have to take my hands off the movement keys, and I can dance and jockey you for position so you can blow half your clip. Meanwhile, I put 5 bullets into you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm going for on this building block here.
Yeah. So I'll share exactly what I'm using. I know that on your channel you're going to put out a video as well on your key bindings, but I've found that these ones work for me. It is really a function of what's moving stuff to the mouse. What do you feel is intuitive and what are you comfortable with? And it takes some time to get used to. Like, you're going to have key binding fails for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
But,
a good week.
Much like the sensitivity thing, it's... you got to tear yourself down a little bit and take a step back before you can move forward. And now I'm finding in game, now that I'm used to these bindings, that I'm able to really move, be elusive, be fast, get to prone, get to cover, throw at the gadgets. The one it's really helped me with is reviving people when I'm the medic. So it's a quick flick of my index finger and a click to revive, where it used to be searching for the 4 key and all of that. So it's really been fantastic. Yeah,
less
absolutely.
Hesitation. Everything's set up for a more dynamic, fluid gameplay.
Yep, absolutely. So anyway, that's the other thing that we wanted to cover off. As far as gameplay mechanics, we're not going to go into a whole lot more details in this video. I'm just going to put some footage over this to demonstrate my adjustment period to the sensitivity and the key bindings, which is something that I was in the process of doing when we talked last week. So, is there anything else you wanted to kind of close off with? I know you had a bit of a speech to share.
Yeah, there's a speech that Rival Cartel kind of gives, and and here's what Colin and I are hoping to do. Colin and I are hoping to share with you guys these building blocks that make you a better player, but make it subconscious, okay? Rival Cartel gives a speech about Michael Jordan, arguably one of the greatest basketball players ever to play the game. Now, what do you think was going on in his mind when he was playing the game of basketball? Every time he went down the court, it wasn't, okay, let's think dribble, 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 pass, back cut. He didn't think about that stuff. That stuff became second nature. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're hoping to instill in the community, to get these building blocks into you. So you're not thinking tap fire, burst fire, move left. You're instinctively doing this stuff because it feels natural now. We're going to put these thought processes in your head. You are going to struggle. It is going to stink for a couple days, with the sensitivity and some of these other things, but it will help you. Eventually, if you stick to this series and stick to a couple of these things, you will become a very instinctive, natural player. And that's what we're going for, to turn you into a Michael Jordan-esque person of thought process where you're thinking 2 to 3 to 4 steps ahead and not just, oh man, do I need to burst fire 3 or 5 bullets here? Do I need to prone real quick to drop a health pack? You're doing it instinctively.
Yep. Yeah, and that's actually one thing that I wanted to kind of report on is that, I am more instinctive about those types of movements. Like as soon as I take fire, I'm able to get to prone immediately with the new setup, toss the health pack for myself, and then I can think about how I'm going to engage that target. Whereas before,
Recover,
I was looking around.
reassess,
Exactly. So yeah, it's helped me out a lot. I've been able to really move it forward and start coming out on the top of the leaderboard more often than not, and winning more games. And I think I'm becoming a better player and helping out my team. So so far so good. I want to thank you for the tips as it stands, and we're going to keep doing this, guys. I hope you are enjoying the series. If so, show your support. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a constructive comment about what you'd like to see us tackle here. We do have a bit of a roadmap laid out, and we will be back next Monday.
Thanks, guys, and again, thank you for the support.
Cheers. We'll talk soon.